What is good, my people? We are going to do another backtesting session, so we are falling in love with the process. So today is Monday, 5th May. Let's sign in and see what we can do in the markets. So currently we are 1 year and 10 months of replay, and we were backtesting the Trump markets. It's loading a bit, but we are going to see if you can backtest your USD or the NAS. Let's go with the EU. Just remove the drawings and do a quick top-down analysis. So what day was it? First was Monday, 10th April, and overall we would say that we were in a downtrend, because you see the former uptrend we had here, we had a shift in structure, so it was in a downtrend on a higher time frame until we reach a key level. So some of the key levels we can see here is this daily order block and this daily order block. So we can't predict and say that maybe it will break off of it or it will react off of it, but we are going to see what the market does and then react to it, because we're just observers. So yeah, I guess basically that's it. We can see a sweep of liquidity right here. We can see sell side resting right here. This equal lows, do you see this? Yes. So we've got this SSL right here. Right, so we got sell side. Right, and the good thing about this sell side, it aligns with this order block as well. So our analysis would be taking out this sell side and then hitting the midpoint of this order block and then pushing higher. That would be a good analysis, or even continuing lower, but this is an obvious level market would potentially retrace to. Let's go to the 4-hour now. So what we see on the 4-hour, you can see market was crazily dropping. We can see have some breakers in here. This block right here, 4-hour breaker block. So you've got this breaker in here. Got a breaker, and the thing about breakers is that they can be retested for future for a drop. So market retest a breaker, then drop. So we've got a 4-hour breaker block, right? So now let's see, these are the obvious levels. We cannot off of this. We still have our liquidity right here, and we can go to the 2-hour now. So on the 2-hour time frame, what do we see? Can't see any obvious levels off of there, but we can mark up some important points to help us push lower at this time right here. So first of all, we have liquidity resting below these lows. Small, it's the low hanging fruit, as they usually call it. So 1 hour, you can see a low hanging fruit right here. Very good low hanging fruit. This is also sell side liquidity. I feel like I should name it low hanging fruit. Yeah, great. So we have a low hanging fruit right here. We have a small order block. We retested it on the 1 hour, and then we dropped, generated liquidity, and then we can look to drop again. So this was currently before the open of New York. Let me go to the 30-minute now. We can notice that market was still dropping right here, no big change. And let's probably see if we can get some entries in here. Let's go to the 15-minute. So first of all, you can see 15 minutes has a fair value gap, this one right here. And since we're not 9:30 yet, when we reach 9:30 in the year, we can look for the first presented fair value gap. It's a concept I learned lately, where like the first presented fair value gap is a great point of liquidity and a great point of retracement of fair value gap to bounce. So this is our first fair value gap in on Friday, and we can see that these lows were actually from these were London lows, which means they have high liquidity. And I think that was all for the analysis. Let's see how this goes. Let's play this, and we're probably looking for an entry at 9:30 somewhere here. So let me mark the open so that it can be on point. Okay, so we push higher, touch the fair value gap, sweep it out, and keep going higher. Okay, now we start a little drop, and by this you can see that we are trying to react to this order block right here. So we're gonna drop. We are currently in the higher time frame breaker block, if you remember well. Let me show it on the 2 hour. This 4 hour breaker block, this one right here, we have retraced back into it, and the good thing is that it coincides with another fair value gap in here, so good confluence. So we can go back to a 15-minute time frame and continue tape reading price. So we've got a sweep as well. This high has been taken out. You can see bearish signs now. Okay, right here, can note them on the PM session. So first of all, we can see that after the start of New York, this was our first presented fair value gap. Let me mark it up as well. And this is on the 15-minute time frame. When you go to the 1 minute, you can see another presented fair value gap. For example, you can do this and see that there is more than you think there is. There's another one right here, there's another one right here. So it depends on the on the time frame mainly. So let's zoom this in a bit. So you can see that this high failed to break this one, so it's a good confirmation that we might be breaking lower. Right, so now we can note an inverse fair value gap right here. This was the first presented fair value gap, and now it can be noted as an inverse fair value gap. We can see it was broken through, retested a bit, and we might anticipate to go for it to push lower and lower. So this is the PM session. I'm not really sure if it will provide good entries, but let's go to the 5 minute bit and let's play it. So you can see it's pushing back higher and dropping. So this would be a good entry on this inverse fair value gap right here. Put stop loss above right here, and now we will be targeting these lows, but this trade will take a longer time, a really long time. Let's see if it works out. The market has started becoming choppy. I will exit this trade but let's see if someone was still in, would get stopped out or be in profit. So it's playing around the stop loss. So we've got a stop out, but it's still in the range and consolidating. Hopefully it will go in our favor later. We can sweep this right to here Okay, so by 20 you can see it has started to drop. Let's remove this actually. Slowly by slowly. It's 8, it's currently 9. So by the start of London session, we can see some consolidation right here. Sweep of the low. Still consolidating now. So valid power of 3. You can see a valid power of 3 right here. So we have consolidation. Actually, it's also, you can't call it power 3 because it's not session based, but as you can see here, it's we've got this right here, this sweep, then a shift right here. So you can see it pushed back higher. And this is currently London session. Let's see what will happen by the start of New York. So 9:15, 9:30. Starting to put a small drop. Nope, it continued pushing higher. So what should we expect? Price continue pushing higher. Okay, so we can see something in right here, still in the PM session. I don't know why. So 15 PM session might be a good time, probably. So we can see a good sweep of liquidity. This high swept out by this one, and this high was also swept out by this one. So what can we mark? If we're expecting the market to go lower, we can use a standard deviation. By marking from this low to this high, we can target this 2 and 2 or between 2 and 2.5 level, and lastly this 4 level. But since this 2 and 2.5 level aligns with another block right here, this means it's a great confluence. So it will come, bounce off of it a bit, then drop. So I think here we can actually take a trade reaction from this inverse fair value gap in here, a sweep and a shift. So I really don't like these PM trades. They really don't go that well. So I might target somewhere here. So I think the more I have tight stop losses, the more I limit my win rate being shorter, my win rate being smaller. So we start off with a small push, and then we go straight back into the upside. Let's speed it up a bit. Very bad consolidation. It starts to drop. Boom, stopped out again. see another valid entry by the start of, in London, sweep, shift, a gap retest. So here we can also sell again in this gap. It still goes with the bias, so let's see if we can take a good chance of this. Still we are targeting here. So will it drop? I guess we'll never know. We have London lows generated right here by 9:30, pushed high, and we're gonna get swept out for the third time. Not just yet. Crazy. I'm starting to see that this market is in some consolidation. Are you also noticing that? Because you can see these movements, no big wow. You can see we've been stopped out with a really big crazy candle. Let's go on the 1 hour and see what was happening. So we've got this crazy candle there, and we haven't reached to our low hanging fruit, so we haven't reached this point of liquidity. I also don't know why, so let's go back to the daily and see what these days have been actually doing. So looks like it swept out the liquidity from this other block, and did it reach this one? It touched into this one, but it didn't push any lower. So should we flip our bias? Might be possible. Let's see. Alright, so we can see market has been pushing higher, and I don't think we can stop it from doing that. So then I guess a new bias will be to push the market higher. Okay, so this volume imbalance right here, you can try to go to equilibrium of it. So you can see it's now dropping to the midpoint of this volume imbalance. So a good entry would have been in this start of London session. Let's see if it does it. Yep, it does it. And now whatever it does, I wouldn't be concerned. Anyways, so good backtesting session on EU. We'll continue doing some more backtesting videos and recaps on how the market is going, and we'll continue also doing more of backtesting content. So I guess that was all for today. I'll keep on backtesting maybe for some other few hours, like probably half an hour, and then yeah, go and have some rest. So until we meet again, be safe.